you got going on?
Well, here's where you're going to have a lot of questions, I'm sure. So, I do. Can we talk about anything?
You can talk about whatever you want. I mean,
Okay. So, I do this. Okay. Let's just back up. There is a type of content out there for everyone when it comes to fetishes. Okay. And like anything that you could think of that you're like, nobody likes this, somebody likes it. And not only just does somebody like it, there are like 20 people who make that content. So I make a type of content of that nature called Giantess content, where I make believe that I am a very, very large, like Godzilla type person.
okay.
Yeah. And I've been doing that for like 3 years.
All right. And
Yeah.
and
Oh my God, that's so
what?
funny.
So I don't know if you want to go into more detail or
Yeah.
what is the hmm. I'm still trying to process that, I guess.
So, what I do to make it a little less awkward, it's not like I dress like this. Okay, when I film my content,
Okay.
I look like this. And it's not as weird as I may have made it sound, but it's easy to approach it with humor because otherwise it just kind of makes people uncomfortable. So, yeah, there are lots of different reasons why people like it. Some people like very gentle giantess content to make them feel like comforted and safe and like, oh, this big world is scary, but like I've got you in the palm of my hand. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then other people like the idea of a giant, angry, mean woman who's like stomping around destroying cities and
Huh.
telling you how tiny and stupid you are. So
So you got both ends of the
I
spectrum there.
do. I do everything. So yeah. And I've been doing that for, yeah, like I said, a good 3 years. And that is actually surprisingly the bulk of my income. That is
Oh
where I
wow.
make the most of my money. So
Do you think I could be a giantess?
you would be a giant, but
No,
yes.
I want to be a giantess.
Oh, well, the facial hair might throw it off, but maybe. Oh my gosh. Sips tea.
Mhm. Oh man. So is that where do you do that then? Like is
I do it on Patreon,
okay.
and I started doing it on YouTube actually by accident. It was when I had first started my ASMR channel, and I was like, oh, custom videos are open if you want to buy a custom ASMR video. And somebody requested a video that was like whispering and gum chewing and finding a tiny 1 inch person in my house. And I was like, wow, that's so creative. I had never heard of a video like that. So I was like, super cool, I'll do that. And I thought it was so creative that I posted it onto YouTube. And then the requests just started flooding in. And I was just like, there's got to be something to this that I'm missing because why does everybody want this kind of video? And I did some research. I did some Googling, and then I talked to some of my customers, and I was like, so what's the deal? And that's when I found out that there is this whole fetish world out there that I didn't even know existed, to where it wasn't just like, you know, I don't know, the typical stuff that you hear about or anything. It was like very oddly specific,
Yeah, it's
and I was just like, I didn't know that was a thing. But eventually I was like, I don't want to put this on YouTube anymore because the people who watch me to relax are not watching me for that.
right.
And even if I whisper and stuff, it's still like not what they're looking for. And I don't want to subject those, like that audience, to that kind of content.
Hmm.
So I decided to put it on Patreon, which is a monthly subscription based platform that they pay content creators to make more content, or artists use it, musicians, lots of people use it for a variety of things. But yeah, it's a fan-funded platform.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
That's interesting that there's enough people out there that have the same
I know.
like specific
Yes.
like huh.
Yes.
Makes you want I wonder if there's a database where you could all the specific AI probably has it figured out. It's probably
Right.
tracking. There's probably some AI that's tracking everything, and but it'd be interesting to look at to see specific, fetishes and like
Yes.
how many people are into that. Like
It would be interesting too to
surprisingly,
break it
probably.
down like demographically. Like
Mm,
where are
mhm.
these people? What ethnicity are they? How old are they? Like just I would love to see a full breakdown
Yeah.
of all of that. Because I have like men, women, I have people from all over the world. So
That's
it's
so
very,
crazy.
very interesting. And they're all, the most bizarre part is they're all normal people.
Yeah,
Like you
that's
would think about it coming into it as a new person thinking, oh my gosh, like weirdos, but they're not. They're all so normal and so nice, and they're really nice to me, and they've always been respectful of me and my boundaries and stuff. So yeah, I haven't had too many people that I've had to block or anything like that. So I've been very fortunate.
that's so like. I mean, I don't necessarily think that people are normal, or they're. I don't know if I believe in the word normal, but I get what you're saying.
Yes.
But it's like that kind of proves it. Like if you're normal and you have like something you got something unique about you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has something unique about them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a fetish where it's like oddly specific fetishes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's a weirdo. I am a weirdo, but they're all weird in the same way that I am, and not in like a creepy kind of way.
Yeah, not in a
know.
dangerous.
Right.
That's
That is a thing, but yeah, not very often, thankfully.
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. There have been some situations that have been frightening, and yeah, reasons why I've had to put lots of cameras in my small house and like
Oh,
be,
really?
armed and things like that. So yeah, like people know where I live. There are people who have found out, and when I was first starting to send out content, I didn't realize that Apple has this feature where if I send a photo from my phone to another iPhone, it shows up on their map where I took the picture.
Oh.
Like to the point where you can zoom in on my little house and be like, there it is. That's where she was when she took this picture.
It's creepy.
And thankfully I figured that out, so that doesn't happen anymore. And I don't do custom content anymore because it was just too much work. But yeah, at the time I was like, great, now like 30 people know my exact location. And those people are still out there, so yeah, it is a little nerve-wracking, but thankfully everybody's very nice. I actually didn't even find out about that until one of my customers was like, hey, just so you know, I just saw your location in my maps, and they showed me and like sent me screenshots, and they were like, I just wanted to let you know so that you stop sending them that way because you don't want the wrong person to like get your address.
Yeah, that's scary.
Uh-huh.
So it's a warning to all you out there that are doing
Yes.
that. Make sure you're keeping your information
Yes.
private.
Yeah, even if you're just like sending messages back and forth to someone you met on a dating app or something, like if you're sending a photo from your phone to their phone, then they can see exactly where you are. So gotta stay safe. Stay safe, friends.
Or if you're gonna send photos, go somewhere that like has nothing to do with you.
Yes.
And then send a photo.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Or you can like take the picture and then edit it in like an editing app, PicMonkey or something, and then resave it, and then it won't have that exact data anymore of like where
okay.
you took the picture. That's what I
Cool.
do. And I turned my location off for everything so
Right.
that now it just is never recorded, allegedly.
Exactly. I've done that with my phone and everything, and it's like I'm a little paranoid about that, but
Yeah.
I know they still know. There's no way they don't know.
They all
Like,
know.
they all.
The
all of
ominous
them.
they.
The
They
ominous,
all know.
exactly.
Yeah.
If one of them knows, then they all know.
Right.
I don't know. It's scary. That's one of the scary things about technology is like there's so much good that comes from it, but there's always bad too that you gotta watch out
Yes.
for. So.
Yes.
And it's just education. I think people just need to learn about it, and then they'll, you know,
Right.
know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. And you don't know until you know most of the time, and
Right.
sometimes that can be too late. So I always tell people that story just in case, because you never know. Like, you just never know. You never know who's watching, and you never know who's watching. In
Just
good ways and bad.
Assume everybody's watching all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just be a good person and
Yeah.
do good things, and yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, that's all you can do.
So, don't send pictures. What was that you said? Is that only with, was it Apple? You said?
Yep, I think it's just iPhone to iPhone.
Okay.
Specifically. Yeah, they save the
don't-
location of every place, or every time you take a photo or a video. You can zoom out and it's on your map. So when I'm on a road trip, I have pictures from here to here to here to here to here to here. And it shows you, like, you took this picture in Boulder Point or Boulder, Colorado. And then you took this picture. Like, it just shows you everywhere. So.
But you don't know if they don't do that with Android phones or anything. Nobody does.
I don't think so. Well, maybe.
They probably do.
Yeah, they do. They do no matter what device you have.
Yeah.
They do on your landline. Just.
They know your location of your landline.
Yep, they know.
That one's pretty easy for
Yeah.
them, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So on that kind of subject, when you go on a trip, do you like? So when I go on a trip, I don't like to post that I'm on a trip until I come back.
Right.
You do the same thing, or?
Yep, that's
Okay,
pretty
good.
necessary.
Yeah.
Like, just to be safe. And I don't post my daughter's face anywhere,
Yeah.
because.
Goes to advertising.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just not. I also don't want to ever make somebody mad and have them be like, well, I know that, like, this is the worst thing I could ever do is just to, like, kidnap her child or something, and, like, really get back at her for hurting my feelings in the DMs or something. And so I just don't want anybody to know what she looks like, or, you know, how long her hair is getting or whatever. So if I ever post a photo of her, her eyes are always blocked out, or her face or whatever. So yeah, that's one safety precaution. But then, yeah, I don't post exactly where I am. It's a bummer because with, like, my candles and stuff, I know I have just people I went to high school with who follow me on social media. So I want to be like, hey, Instagram, I'm doing a show right here on this day, but I just can't because I don't want anybody else to see it. So,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, my Instagram is pretty much just for work. The only, like, private platform I have is Facebook, and who knows how private it really is, but I have all of my settings to, like, be super private and not to show anything to the public.
Right.
So,
That's good. That's important.
yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably a kind of a struggle with the candles, and if you do a show,
Mm-hmm.
you really want to promote that show, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how you would get around that. Just
I could make, like, a close friends list on Instagram where it would only show my story to close friends, but that would require going through everyone and just trying to be like, okay, who did I go to high school with? And, like, that would just take a long time. So instead, I just try to put it on Facebook and hope that somebody sees it, even though Facebook is not really a great advertising place anymore. But yeah, it works. I figure it out, and there are just certain things that I can't do now because I have people watching. but that's okay. It all comes with it, and
Well, that's probably something that people don't really realize a lot of times. Like, you never really realize until you're in a position like that.
yeah.
But, yeah, so that's interesting to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of thought about that because, you know that happens with, like, Hollywood celebrities and
Right.
stuff. But then, like, you think about YouTube and stuff, and it's like, does that happen? It's like, I guess it does.
Yeah.
I guess it does.
Yeah, and then like
We're
even
all
just
celebrities.
right. Yeah. If you put yourself online in any capacity, you are now somebody that is not necessarily a public figure, but a content creator, which means that you have fans, which means that you have people who,
Hopefully
are
you have
invested
fans.
in you. Right. Yeah. Or worse, not your fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, even down to like, I have a P.O. box, but I had to make sure that my P.O. box was not in my town because, just for safety reasons. So I had to put it many like miles away and cities away so that I knew that I would be safe and that somebody wouldn't. But there's always that worry. Like there was just a celebrity, a few months ago, and this person was in a hotel room that was overlooking her P.O. box and was camped out there for like 2 months just waiting to see her go to the P.O. box. And they were going to attack her. So it was just like, you still can't be safe. Like, even if you make it not near your home, there's always a concern with putting yourself out there. So that's why you should only do it if you really like it and you really want to and feel a pull to do that for whatever reason, because otherwise it can get a little hairy.
You have to send somebody to your P.O. box for you. You have to
Put them on the payroll. Just,
you
yeah.
have to basically get off the grid.
Right. Which is funny because the whole point is like, look at me on the grid. But yeah, in your private life, that is pretty much what you have to do. Yeah.
Witness protection.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're safe.
Yeah.
And
Made
you're
it this
doing,
far.
and you're doing things the right way, like that. I wonder how many people don't realize how dangerous it is, and they don't
Yeah.
take those precautions.
Yeah. Or even just like posting, parents in general, like posting where their kids like go to school or things like that. You just don't think about it,
Yeah, I with parents and their kids and stuff. I don't know. I think it's, the internet's been around for a while. Social media's been around for a while now. That's a relative term, I guess, but people should know by now, but there's still a lot of people that just don't realize the dangers. And one thing I like is those like Facebook posts and stuff where it's like people answer all these questions about them, and like you have to be real careful about those because like
they're
they're
trying to get your
questions.
password.
Yeah, they're questions about your.
Oh.
And it's like,
Yeah.
stop doing that.
What's your mother's maiden
Yeah.
name? What was your first pet's name?
Or yeah, it's that, or it's like your mother's maiden name, your first pet's name, and the day of the month that you were born on is your,
Lord of the Rings elven name.
And then it's
something.
like people comment, "Oh, I'm whatever," and it's like, well, then they know. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
There are so many things like that
Maybe people should be more paranoid.
Right. Yeah, but
I guess
then
that wouldn't be the right word. Cautious.
Cautious,
It's not really paranoia if you're just, you're not.
Yes. Cautious and, just paying attention, questioning everything I think is important. Always question everything.
Yeah.
But you can't let it rule your life either and be like, well, I'm too scared to do anything now and I don't trust anyone. So it's a fine line, and it's a very odd digital age that we're living in right now. And yeah, I've been making most of my money, and most of my life has been online in the last few years. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to make candles, was bringing it back because I just wanted to do something with my hands in real life that I could see and touch and make myself, because I was like, I've done the video thing, I've done the online thing, and I still love it. I still want to do it, but I just want to freaking touch something, something real. So,
I
yeah.
think we need that. We need that as humans. I think people don't realize that we need it.